YouTube, how's it going? I am back with some more NFL draft coverage. Fun video for you guys today. March Madness action. Decided to go with a QB tournament here. Take the top QBs, break them down until we have a winner. So a little bit of fun here for you guys. I started with a playing game. Well, before I get into this, actually, the seeding obviously is not my quarterback rankings. That wouldn't make any sense because the better seed would win. So I used the average quarterback rankings from maybe experts, all different kind of sites. Maybe I kind of just got the average of what I thought the quarterback rankings are. But I started with a playing game, maybe 8 versus 9 here. Kyle Lauletta, the Richmond quarterback, versus Mike White, the Western Kentucky quarterback. Sounds like a lot of teams like Mike White. They like both these guys. Both expected to be, really, they can go in the range of second to fourth round. I prefer Kyle Lauletta. So to play a game, I'm going to have Kyle Lauletta winning this. I think Mike White struggles in the pocket. His pocket mobility is not really good, kind of steps into sacks. Took a lot of sacks. Offensive line wasn't that good, but could be his fault as well. Teams and scouts, they really like his sideline throws, that 15-yard out, the 10-yard out, which is very important. They really like that about him. Showed at the Senior Bowl. Kyle Lauletta's weaknesses, really very similar to another quarterback we're going to go over here, and it's really arm strength, but mainly velocity on the ball, which much like the other quarterback we're going to go over, it's very interesting because the two of them may be the best deep ball quarterbacks in this draft. So they don't really like the velocity, maybe too much air under it, but Lauletta can throw the deep ball very accurately. I think his pocket movement is very good. He's got pretty good mobility for him, so I like Lauletta. Better than Mike White, but they're both good quarterbacks. Should go in that 2 to 4 range. I'm going to guess that Lauletta comes off in round 3 and Mike White 4, but it could be reversed there. So now we're on to the Elite 8. We got the seed 1, Sam Darnold, seed 8, Kyle Lauletta. Not really too much of a matchup here. Darnold's potential's through the roof. Got all the tools and tangibles. Decision making is a problem for me, but he's good enough to beat the 8 seed Kyle Lauletta, which again we went over how I liked his deep ball accuracy. Really his accuracy and vision all in general, and his movement in the pocket, very important. I think he could be a good pro if he gets the chance, but Sam Darnold's going to win this 1 versus 8. The 4 versus 5, Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson, very interesting matchup. Josh Allen, just like Sam Darnold, has potential through the roof. If you go and watch just all these quarterbacks, just their highlights, not the tape, just the highlights, which isn't a good thing to do, but it's a fun thing to do. These are the two guys that you're just going to fall in love with just based off highlights. If you're talking about just the throwing, just the quarterback position, pocket throwing, or rolling out throwing, Josh Allen has the best highlights you'll ever see, but the negatives are just huge. So it's tough. I'm never really a fan of the quarterbacks that are not ready to play right now. I'm going to have a video on really just Josh Allen or the scouting of quarterbacks, the steps of scouting and what people think and what's right, what's wrong. I'm going to have a whole video in the future here before the draft. But basically, I don't like the guys that are potential guys, like Josh Allen. I love his potential, but I'm more of a fan of the guy ready right now. And you can make an argument that the guy ready right now is the guy coming from the pro-style offense, but I'm going to disagree. I think Lamar Jackson being very smart and his ability to do pretty much anything. He was asked to do just super hard things there in Louisville. The plays he was asked to run, he was asked to take the snap and just roll out and throw on a hard throw. I think he's just better all around right now. Allen, again, his goods are just super high, but the bads are really low. I'm a fan of Lamar Jackson, so I'm going to take the 5 seed on this one. Allen should have a bright future, but needs some work. The 2 versus 7, not much of a matchup. Luke Beck, poor combine. Drops him down, but he's still in the top 8. Good arm. His tape's going to be better than whatever he does. Just throwing the ball around without a defense, I think. But Josh Rosen, the 2 seed for a reason, very accurate. People worry about his intangibles, maybe his love for the game. I'm really not. He's just overall good quarterback. So, I mean, there's really not much to go over here. It's a pretty simple one. Josh Rosen wins it in the Elite 8 to move on to the Final 4. And the final Elite 8 matchup is Bedlam. What are the chances? Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. Baker Mayfield versus Mason Rudolph. Now, when I was talking about Lauletta, there's another quarterback in this draft class that is similar. It is Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph is better than Lauletta, but teams worried about his velocity. He puts too much air into the ball, but his deep ball is so perfect. It's the best in its class. I mean, people worried about those sideline throws, the velocity on his ball. Not the most mobile quarterback, but his pocket movement is very good. He's a very smart player. I expect him to adapt. I expect him to transition if he gets the chance. So this is closer than you think, but Baker Mayfield wins it. He's really just a total package here. Another great deep ball quarterback, very underrated. He has the arm strength, and it's pretty darn accurate. Don't think he's just a system guy. Same with Rudolph. People think he's a system guy. But some of the system guys in the NFL are winning because they're system guys and they're on the right team. So it really makes no sense when people say that anyways. Just now more than ever, too, for quarterbacks. But Baker Mayfield's really just got it all, and he's a winner. Mason Rudolph did also win. This may be a little closer than you think, but going with Baker Mayfield here. So we're on to the final four. We got 1 Sam Darnold versus 5 Lamar Jackson. Now, I may be the only one going with I'm already giving it away. I'm going Lamar Jackson here. Big Lamar Jackson fan. Bottom line is he's dangerous. That is the bottom line. I do not want to play this guy. Sam Darnold, good potential. I mean, I could see why teams like him, but he has some bust potential as well. I'm not a huge fan of Sam Darnold. You may know that if you watch my videos. Decision making is just key for me. I'm not going to go with the guy that has the potential and they're kind of a long way away, not really ready to play now. And I'm not going to go with the guy with the decision making problems. Maybe I can get over the interceptions, but the interceptions really don't change that much from college to NFL. I mean, it's not like all of a sudden they're going to go from throwing a bunch of interceptions to not throwing at all, but it's really the fumbles is what gets to me. He gets sacked from behind, he's losing the ball. I mean, it's very, very hard to hang on to the ball in some of those situations where he got hit from behind. So I don't really blame him, but if you're a running back, it's coachable only sometimes, but because they practice it all the time. Quarterbacks are he's going to learn the playbook. It takes so much time to learn the playbook. You're not going to learn the playbook right away. Quarterback practice is a lot different. You're trying to figure out plays. You're trying to go against the other team's defense. So just the combination of decision making and turnovers. Just I don't like Darnold. Would I take him in the first round still? Yes, but I'm not a huge fan on Darnold. Lamar Jackson isn't the best passer, but I see he has the ability to do it. Really doesn't have a weakness anywhere. Like some guys don't have the deep ball, some guys don't have the sideline throws, the short throws, the middle of the field throws. He could do it all. I mean, it's not the best in his class, but he can do it all, and he's just a freak to add on top of that. I think he can learn. I like Lamar Jackson just for the thought of my defense game planning against him. So it's a little bit of a shocker, but I got the 5 over the 1. I like Lamar Jackson. Final four matchup, 2 versus 3, a good one. Josh Rosen, Baker Mayfield. This very well could be the championship game here, the finals game. Both great quarterbacks. Really what it comes down to is, I mean, this is going to sound like I easily have the winner here, but I really don't. But it's going to come down to who's more of a winner, who can do more, and who has more experience at playing at a high level. All those 3 things pretty obviously checks off for Baker Mayfield. So I am going with Baker Mayfield here. Really, Josh Rosen, like I said, who has more experience at a high level. Josh Rosen, just 2 years ago, it didn't look good. Didn't look good at all. And this year he really stepped up. Very impressive this year. I like Josh Rosen a lot. But the edge goes to Baker Mayfield there. I mean, who can do more? They both have very similar arm talent. Maybe some could argue that Rosen has a little better arm talent, mainly downfield or the sideline, but it's very close. But even if he does, Mayfield's pocket movement's better. He can be mobile. He's smart. He's a winner. Like I said, winning. Who's a better winner? No question there. No question. So all those things combined, I'm taking Mayfield, even though I do like Rosen. But again, Mayfield headed to the finals. So my finals. Is Baker Mayfield the 3rd seed versus Lamar Jackson, the 5th seed? Pretty interesting. We got 3 versus 5, but that's just based off the average rankings. Some people obviously will have Mayfield as number 1 quarterback. This doesn't necessarily mean these are my top 2 quarterbacks in the draft. It's just how this played out, the matchup. My rankings and big board will come out a little closer to the draft. But 3 versus 5, they're both very dangerous. I think Lamar Jackson's a little more dangerous, harder to the game plan on. But back to the fact that Mayfield can just do so many things at a high level. I mean, so can Lamar Jackson. But I think Baker Mayfield is more ready. He can, if you combine every trait there is, I think Baker Mayfield's a safer choice. The Lamar Jackson completion percentage does scare me a little bit because just like decision making I talked about, completion percentage isn't something that changes a lot. But I honestly think he had a harder task at Louisville, what he was asked to do. With not great weapons, balls dropped. I mean, Mayfield had some too. Terrible O-line for Louisville. They got one tackle that's going to get drafted pretty good. But Lamar Jackson, if he goes to the right team, it might be an easier task for him in the NFL. I mean, that might be a little surprising that for some of you people to hear me say that, but that's why I said might be. But he was asked to do some hard things. I mean, the question with him obviously is, I mean, just transitioning. And I mean, a big problem is he going to get hurt? I don't think it's going to be that easy for him to get hurt. He's got a different way to him, a different way of moving around that I have never seen before. So let's hope he doesn't get hurt. But the only really, like I said, the completion percentage, and the only other thing is like, is he going to just get the ball and just think he has to take off and run because he did it so he had to in Louisville. So is that just set in his mind? I think something he can get over, something that may never even happen, but it scares me a little bit. But Mayfield, combining every trait, I love his confidence, I love his attitude. Really, both these guys a year ago, I was like, these guys are darn good. Talking about during maybe last year's draft, I was looking ahead to this year. These guys are darn good, but I don't know if I see them as top picks. I don't know if they're NFL quarterbacks, but they really changed my mind this year, both of them. So a lot of these guys did too. Rosen too. I mean, Darnold was going to be my number one quarterback after last year. I mean, a way too early number one quarterback. So Darnold's previous year is very impressive. That, I mean, people maybe focus on that a little too much, but it's okay because he has the ability to do that. So maybe that's what I'm forgetting about Darnold. But again, Mayfield, I think what it comes down to is Mayfield being the better passer here. They're both very dangerous. Lamar Jackson maybe a little more dangerous on the running game, but if you combine everything, my winner is going to be the 3 seed, Baker Mayfield. He's my number one quarterback in this year's draft. I've been switching back and forth between him and another guy, but rankings will come out in the future for every single position group, so that should be fun. But yeah, Mayfield's my guy. He's my guy. I love the attitude. You know, it's I just hope he stays out of trouble, which I don't see why not. But he should be fine. It's going to be very interesting to see where he goes in the draft. You know, some teams trading up, teams that have Jets, Bills, or who I'm talking about, they happen to have plenty of meetings with him. Is that it can't be that simple. It can't be that obvious. Are they actually going to take him? But they're doing their homework, which is good. So where's he going to go? Some people may think he drops. The Bills stay put. He drops to 12. That would be very surprising in my opinion. We will see. But I like the kid. He's a good quarterback. He's got all the tools. But that'll do it for this one. Stay tuned for other draft coverage. We got plenty more to come for the NFL. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.